there's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about before we finish for Christmas. I had a look at your file, and I'm very, very pleased with the way things have been going. You made very good progress. But what I really wanted to speak to you in the main about is, what are you going to do over Christmas? Are you going to stay here, or...?
I'm going home, because I haven't been home for the past 4 years. So it's going to be an exciting moment, exciting Christmas. Yeah.
Okay.
On top of that, too, I met it last year, and I haven't seen my wife. So I'm going to collect her, too.
That I have been in England has been a problem for my family. I am the eldest son, and it is our custom that the eldest son must be the first to marry. So because I was away, they married me in my absence to a girl named Ya, and sent a message to me that I should come home to collect my bride. That was more than a year ago. Sudan is the largest country in Africa, more than 1 million square miles. The northern half of the country is mostly Muslim and desert. The southern half is African, its regional capital, Juba. My village is near Rumbek, northwest of Juba, among the floodplains of the Upper Nile. This is the Dinka area. It's a 2-day lorry drive from Juba to Rumbek. After the long flight from London, it's a very rough and tiring journey. Some of the time, we Dinka live in grasslands with our cattle, and some of the time in the villages, cultivating. Yar has left her family and is now living in our village with her mother. This is Rumbek. My village is about 12 miles from here. I'll be going there tomorrow. Tonight I'll stay here with an old school friend. He has been writing to me in England about my marriage.
Hello, is that?
Long time I've never met you. How was the journey?
Isaiah is also a student in Juba, studying chemistry and English. I told him that I was coming back for Christmas.
Nice to see you. It's Rhoda. This is wife of Peter, yeah. Yara has been expecting you all these days, and it's been quite a long time.
I'm so tired. I've taken a long
so I know it's how many hours? 8 hours.
Okay.
If I get time, I'll come there cycling.
See you.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye, Maria.
See you.
Have a nice journey.
Okay. Okay. See you next tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Marial has stayed in London for all these 5 years, and of course he has acquired some different ways of life, and he's coming here. He may have that problem of fitting in, but I'm quite sure that he will not have some difficulties in adjusting himself to the life here and to the people. Of course, the first pressure will be from his wife, Yar, because she has been married a long time and Marial didn't come, and so she will be expecting Marial to give an explanation why he didn't come since the marriage was done that time.
It is very rare for a Dinka man to be married in his absence. But as I said, until I am married, no one else in my family can get married. Yar is about 16. She is from the same village as me. She was a small girl when I left for England, so I cannot picture what she looks like. There was some suspicion that I did not want her because I stayed away for so long after my marriage. Also, it is a custom in Dinka land to give cattle for a marriage, and the full number of cattle for me to pay has not been agreed, so this I have to sort out with my in-laws. Also, I'm the head of the family because my father died many years ago, and many people will be wanting to see me.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a bit nervous at the moment because I have not seen my wife and I have many problems to sort out. And I have only 12 days before I have to be back in Leeds.
Yes. Marty. Come here, Coy.
This is my house. This is my Uncle Thorio. He's chanting a Dinka welcome. This is my grandmom. This is Jan, my wife. This goat my brother-in-law is sacrificing. I should have stepped over it before I said hello to everybody. It is to bring good luck on me and Yar, and because I come back safely. It is what we do when anybody comes back after being away for a long time. Actually, I have not done it before, so they are having to show me how to do it. These are some of my uncles chanting war songs of our clan. That's the traditional way we identify ourselves to announce our arrival. They are the uncles who arranged my marriage. They are bringing the bull to sacrifice for my homecoming. It is very rare to sacrifice a bull. This is a special occasion. Despite the fact that I'm a Christian, it doesn't give me any problems with the local religion. We have this way of sacrificing, that's traditional way of approach to God, the African way. If you read the Old Testament about sacrifice, it is very similar. This man is a famous spiritual leader in our area and an uncle of Yar. He's giving thanks to God that I come home safely and praying for a blessing to Yar and me for our marriage. Now he is explaining to the bull why it is being sacrificed and that its spirit must carry these prayers to God. All these people have come to see me. They are my uncles and relatives. They ask, where have I been all this time? And why did I not come back? They joke. They thought I might come back with an English girl and not one the girl they have chosen for me. I tell them that I could not come back because England is a very long way away and you do not have much money as a student and cannot just break off from your studies. They do not understand, because in Sudan, education is free and other students come home for their holidays. But they are pleased now that I have come. There will be a big dance tonight. They know that I am happy to be home.
When I was a small girl, I did see Mariel as the son of Macaire. We are from the same village and cattle camp, but we never talked. It is the elder people who make the decision about our marriages. The girls are not asked their opinions. My father said, "I'm giving you over to these people. They are our friends. We had marriages between us before, and so I'm marrying you to their son." Mariel bought these clothes for me. When I used to fetch water from the well, some people make jokes on me. They would say, "When is your husband coming?" Or they would say, "This is the girl whose husband does not want her." I simply tell them that he will come. Mariel wrote a letter telling me not to accept all what people say, and that he would come back for me and take me to England. Mariel also wrote to his sister Amer to say that he did accept me and will come back for me and to settle the marriage. I was very happy.
I have just arrived now to my sister's house, Amel, and there is her husband. He's one of our uncle's son, and the other two are our relatives, and then the three there are her sons. Today is a bit quieter. Yesterday was a very, very busy day of all that celebrations, bull being killed, and a lot of people to meet and talking to. And actually today I'm quite relaxed.
My sister Amer is the oldest in our family. It was she who decided that Ya should be the girl for me to marry. She was very angry that I did not come home for so long. So this is why I've come especially to see her. With us Dinka, the family is very important. We have many relatives and uncles, and we share our problems. My sister feels that with my studying, I contribute nothing to the family issues and don't take on my family responsibilities. For my mother, it is not easy that I'm away so much. She has no one to help her with her harvesting. My sister is married, and my brother is in the cattle camp, looking after our cattle. Also, I am the head of the family. My mother should have my decision about all sorts of family matters. My age mates think I've been wasting my time. 16 years reading books and nothing else. They cannot say that my studying will bring any advantage to people here. Because most schools used to be mission schools, people call Christianity the religion of students. But everybody here celebrates Christmas Day. All the young people in our area, Christian and non-Christian, come to a place called Akot, where there is a church, for a big dance. It is something we try never to miss, because you meet a lot of people and meet a lot of friends, and for those of us who are Christian, there is a Christmas service. Yah has never been to church, but the church is open to everyone. In the Dinka religion, there is only one God who is merciful and almighty, and this has no controversy with Christianity. For a Dinka to take up Christianity is simpler and fits more easier with the modern way of life. I hope that later, Yah too will be baptized. This Christmas carol is "O come, all ye faithful," in Dinka. In Dinkaland, everything is related to cattle. Our marriages, our songs, even our dances. The girls raise their hands like the horns of cows, and the young men leap in the air with their arms like the horns of bulls. As a good Dinka man, I like dancing. In Leeds, I go to a lot of discos. I'm a great disco goer, there's no doubt about that. When we are in England, I'm going to take Yah to the discos. She's a great girl, going to make a good wife. She's been brought up in the traditional Dinka way of life, in the cattle camps. To a Dinka, if you have cattle, and if you go to the cattle camp, you're considered a well-off person. But if you spend all the time in the villages, they think less of you. Cattle camp is the real heart of Dinka land. We keep our cattle in these huge camps, often many miles from the villages and the grasslands. The young men spend many months in these camps, and the camps have a life of their own. In a cattle camp, there may be 2,000 to 3,000 cattle and several hundred people. There are camps like this all over the area. To the Dinkas, cattle camp is the best kind of life, the best kind of upbringing, the best kind of education. It's where you learn a lot of things, and you have to work hard to make a life. Children are taught to be well-disciplined. They learn how to get on with each other, to have good manners, and to respect their elders, to be a servant of the whole community. It's a good discipline for life anywhere. The camps are always moving from place to place according to the grazing for the cattle. There is always a lot of things to do, and nobody is idle.
This cattle camp is called Unju. And last night I was sleeping in this small hut. I've come here to see my cattle, see some of my cattle that I got married with from my in-laws. And I'm seeing what, actually, after the marriage, what is the shape about what number of cattle we have.
For us, cattle is the most valuable animal. We get milk from them, but more important, we marry with them. Without cattle, you can do nothing. You are considered as somebody very poor. So we take good care of them. They are dusting the cattle with ash from the dung fires. It keeps the insects away and makes the cattle look very fine. Later this morning, they will go out from here, perhaps 10 miles for grazing. If I had not been studying, I would have been living this sort of life, looking after the cattle. It is the normal way for my brother to raise cattle for my marriage, because I'm the oldest. Then he gets cattle for him to be married in his turn. Most of his time, he spends here in the cattle camp.
Wala guto ya kan? Wala guto. To luke to an. Luke. Muk. Are ye mene kalo ga. Ye pon. Pon gari da. War muk. Ya guto da wonga uja to anyo da. Ke wonga ai na bana gud ma chan. Wa to ba wa to. Ah. De nang wal ma lo han. Wal de to. Wala tin ma lo. Da ye tak. Ini kita ini nang tak. Nang tak. Kata ko yaw wala. Ah liu. Liu ka. Hey ja verte. Ah ja la gor. La gor pain.
All my family contribute cattle in my marriage, and the cattle are distributed among Yar's relatives. Also, for every 10 that are given by my family, we are given 3 in return by her family. It's a good way, because this keeps families together, because you have a common deal in cattle, and also it distributes the wealth. I am bringing my new brother-in-law, Yar's brother, to see the cattle I'm giving in my marriage. He will be getting 10 cows. They will be for him when he is marrying. Makur is also a student. In marriages, people make no comparison between students and a man in cattle camp. Marriage is dependent on good name of your family and the number of cattle. We have yet to agree the number of cattle in our marriage. So far, we have given 65, but we have to give more.
This cow was a contribution of my uncle, brother of my mom. Was paid to brother of Yar's mom, you see. So this was a cow paid by my uncle as his contribution in my marriage. This bull is the one I contributed for my marriage. That was the biggest bull in among my cattle. Because of its color, it's called Majak.
For us, cattle are everything. Our investment, our cash in the bank, and our marriage certificates. Every cow in Dinka land has been given in a marriage or is being served for somebody to marry with. My marriage to Ya was arranged by my uncles and by my brother, but they could not agree with Ya's relatives about the number of cattle to be paid. It was decided to wait till I came home rather than stop the marriage. Nothing will change the marriage. They cannot ask for the daughter back, but everything should be settled amicably.
My in-laws are coming today with local beers, and then there will be discussion about my marriage. Since my marriage was settled in my absence, and my brother is here now to identify how the marriage was set up, or how it was settled when I was away. So we'll have a very important discussion today.
My brother and my relatives were thinking 80 cattle are the right number for my marriage, and my in-laws thought 90. This is what we have to settle. There will be many of my uncles here to talk for me when my in-laws arrive. Today is the most important day of my homecoming. While the beer is arriving, my uncles and I are making sure that we know what we are going to say in the discussion. Make sure that we all tell the same story. The millet beer is distributed according to relationships in the family. There is some argument as to who is the most important and who should have what share. Some people joke that the in-laws bring the beers so we may give too many cattle under the influence of drink. People sometimes booze and get made relaxed and say, okay, I give a cow, when they didn't intend this. But my brother is determined that this will not happen. The way this discussion works is that Yar's family sits on the one side and my family sits on the other side. And in the middle is the Agamlo. He is paid to be a sort of a speaker repeating what each person says loudly so everyone can hear. My uncle Thorial will be opening the discussions for us.
No ko le be mat ko. No ko le be mat ko. Ya wa ja la cha. Wa ja la cha. Ana no bet. Ana no bet. Chin cha gam. Ta chin cha gam. Ya ben kala. A cha ben kala. Yin marial. Yin ja lwa. Yin ja lwa. Kidi tu ya tiang. Kidi tu ya tiang ji. E tem. Ku di.
No wa chi mi ma ja du kin chi men we doctorial.
E le we chi mi ma ja du.
Gulen jam.
Gulen jam.
Kechalwe linwa.
Kechalwe linwa.
Kachabu tu gore.
Kachabu tu gore.
Ye chare ne lwele.
Ne chare lwele.
Abijal koi kemandu.
Kemandu. Panon franken ko sapen te la benke.
Ne chok tapin.
Ne chok tapin.
Ka lwele kemandu.
Ka lwele kemandu.
Julwalda.
Julwalda.
Walda na kom.
Walda na kom.
Itir bet.
Itir bet.
Ne kan.
Ne kan.
Ajul be dukti.
Ajul be dukti.
Yi jam.
Yi jam.
Ke wong tir tam.
Wong tir tam.
Kudi. Chugam yi.
Chagam. Ekwa.
Ini kenam ko yulti yimin.
Ini ko wai Kenya.
Ini ko wai Kenya.
Okala re. Mel ko buko okala be. Okala re. Lokatiro ka.
Wong bana tero.
Wong bana tero.
Ene wong opor wong wa.
Ene wong opor wong wa.
Jala na dio.
Jala na dio.
Okara.
Okara.
Ano rande kidi tuom ge jol mo kwenga na.
Ano mo kwenga na.
Ne rande toruru bri.
Ne toro.
Ko chingi jitelo.
Ko chingi jitelo.
E tunga chimo por ajipono.
Ajipono.
Ko chimaku.
Ko chimaku.
Aku nyi ga chiyoko ko.
A chiyoko ko.
Mapurkin.
Mapurkin.
Ajubali uten.
Ajubali uten.
Kwanang maburatero.
Kwanang maburatero.
Kwali wiki.
Kwali wiki.
This discussion went on for a long time. My family agreed to give 90 cattle. 5 more we give now. The remaining 20 is something between me and my father-in-law. For me, it is good because I marry with a lot of cattle. My brother is perhaps a bit unhappy because most of the cattle of the family are going over, and he was hoping to keep a small reserve to start saving for his own marriage. However, the business of my marriage is now settled. When I'm in Leeds, I sometimes miss this life. People here send me tape cassettes about what is going on, news about a cow. Most of our daily life is connected to cattle. You see, for me, it is like in England, say, you work in the city, but you were brought up in the country, and you like to spend your holidays on the farm. Like here, it's quite free life. For me, it is where I like best of all.
To people here, they think this way of life, this life in the cattle camp is very important compared to the village, because when you are here, some appear to be healthy actually, yeah. But in England or in Leeds, well, there's that loneliness there where you are in your own flat and your television and all that. But here, you have no restriction according to your movements. You see, you can go anywhere, you enjoy yourself. You can get to know many people when you are in the cattle camp.
Here, you are respected for what you do, if you are brave. They think a student is not trained to be a man. I should be looking after cattle and hunting like them. That's what they say. Education used to have a bad name because young people would get bad habits in the towns and have bad manners. But attitudes are beginning to change. For a young Dinka now, life is going to be different from, say, what my father knew. More of them would go to school. When I was small, it was an uncle of mine, who is an airline pilot, who encouraged me to go to school. In my turn, I would also help children in my family to study. I'd like to see more education, but connected with a Dinka way of life. It may change people's attitudes to consider cattle as a source of income. As we become more material-minded, one thing we must not lose is our extended family ties, where everybody is helping everybody else, and you cannot leave anybody to be suffering. Most of the children here will go to school, but some will remain in cattle camp. When I have children, I will want them to come here to acquire this life. For 1 month, 2 months, every year. They will learn how to get on with people. Children brought up in town are different because they don't know this life. Actually, I'm going to do it. I was brought up as a Dinka boy, and I want my children to be brought up in the Dinka way. Despite the fact that I dress a bit different, I'm more comfortable and fitting into society here than I would anywhere else. I have been in Leeds for 4 years, but I have been here for 20 years. In the evenings, these young men decorate themselves to show off, so the young girls like them. Then, when they bring the cattle in, they sing songs, praising their favorite bulls and their relatives and their girlfriends. These guys in the cattle camp are proud of their way of life. They are really proud of it.
Inhan malwala la dia na matwa dai jana liam ga jaga pol ye na lwal ore una goni jude ma juge ti de go la dia na matwa dai jana liam ga jaga pol ye na lwal ye wa ge na ja la na ma junge ma de la je ma jo ga janen mun kan una mangabe puch ke ga kujol kwod boya amanga ke ga kujol kwod boya ku kwod boye jam ku yibe jani ni pol go be du ga do tana ke de ma jo kwen ma ki de na lo ke de bitok yo ke de ma jo kwen ma ki de na lo ke de bitok ma ku ya jani uni bangaro una mangabe puch ke ga kujol kwod boya.
When I finish my studies, I'll be working as an engineer in Juba, but I will come back here often. This is the only life that my wife has known. It will be very different in Leeds. But as a Dinka brought-up girl, she has learned to cope with anything. When a Dinka is going away, he must call upon a spiritual leader for a blessing and a sacrifice. It is a Dinka way, and I must abide by it.
Chalong away. Ranga chalong away. Lama burkaro. Lama burkaro. Achieving. Over the Nagitan. You never joke about human. Could you have you? Would you like that? Yeah, fun. Can't get jump. We all work. You don't know the work. Have you long to it? You don't feel good. Okay, dog. I'll eat you. Who are Ranja? Gilmariat. You don't be red wooden. I will be Lord by a Jeriage. Lord by a Jeriage. Now would you have been there?
My mother is going to miss Ya. She loves Ya very much. I've been away for 4 years, and now I'm going to be away for another 2 years.
Has your wife ever been to England before?
Never.
She's never been out of Sudan?
Never.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning, madam.
Say morning. If you'd like to go straight on through, the stewardess will take you through to the cabin.
If you'd like to follow me.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Come on.
I think that Yar will be a bit unhappy at first without all the people that she knows. I was the only Dinka in Leeds. Now there will be 2 of us.
Ekede mayoma jokwen makidiana lokede bito jokede mayoma jokwen makidiana lokede bito ekede mayoma jokwen makidiana lokede bito jokede mayoma jokwen makidiana lokede bito ekede mayoma jokwen makidiana lokede bito makuya janin muni bangaro una mangabe kuj kega kujol kwod boya amanga kega kujol kwod boya ku kwod boye jamma ku yibjani ni pol go bedu kadwotana ekede mayoma jokwe.
Yar's first comment on Leeds was that the traffic looks like herds of cattle moving very fast. She's found living here a little lonely with only Marial to talk to. But now there's another Dinka in Leeds. 3 weeks ago she had a baby daughter. They've called her a Gok, the name of the favourite cow given in her marriage. Most Dinka names are cattle names. In July, Marial, Yar and a Gok are going home to Sudan, where Marial will be working for a road construction firm.